Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Hi, Aunt Joan. I'm here in my office trying to put together something to say to someone who was born 5 years after the last time the Chicago Cubs won the World Series. Someone who was born 11 months after the Titanic hit an iceberg. They were still shoveling out the Panama Canal, for crying out loud. So I put on my thinking cap and I cogitated a spell on how best to create a birthday video for your special centennial natal day. And I found it to be quite a challenge. Oh sure, it would be easy to just steal something from current popular culture for a cheap laugh.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. Oppan Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady.
But that would be wrong. Last year, for your 99th, you may remember I enlisted Regis Philbin to deliver personal birthday greetings, and I imagine finding some other celebrity to do it again this year.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
But see, the problem is you have outlived any singers you can actually recognize, so that doesn't work. I thought about driving over to Palm Beach to the Mar-a-Lago estate and asking Donald Trump if he would look into a camera and say happy birthday to my aunt who is turning 100. But you know Donald Trump. He'd just demand to see your birth certificate. So I guess the place to start is at the beginning. It all began when two young Swedes, a boy from Stockholm and a girl from Göteborg, called Gothenburg in English, yearned for life in America, drawn by stories that have lured generations of European immigrants, that America is a land with something you can't find in all of Europe: adequate closet space.
Young Swedish sailor and carpenter Carl Sandstrom and country girl Vida Marie Bylund made a love connection after making the 4,000-mile journey from Stockholm and Gothenburg to Philadelphia. It was love at first sight for the striking Swedes at a club in the city of brotherly love.
Yes, I do.
They married in 1911, and 2 years later came Joan.
And I did some ciphering, and I calculated that you, Aunt Joan, have been an inhabitant of this planet for 36,525 days. That means tomorrow you will have awakened 36,526 times. Now, if we estimate that you slept an average of 7 hours every time you went to bed, you have slept more than 255,000 hours, which is to say more than 10,000 24-hour days. In other words, you have slept a total of 29 years. You have been asleep longer than some of those in this room have been alive. Don't mean anything by it, I'm just saying. It occurs to me that for 71 years of those 100 years, there was just one phone company. You have lived through 17 presidents, serving 26 terms. By the way, it's a good thing you don't have to register for Twitter or Facebook, because those pull-down menus for the year of birth don't scroll down much past 1930. But anyway, I've spent considerable time going through the video archives, which remind me that we have gathered together with you to celebrate several of your personal milestones, like your 50th wedding anniversary.
And best of all, I'm going to say that it was a lucky day for me when I met that cute redhead on that streetcar named Desire.
Uncle Paul. My Uncle Paul was a very special man. I remember the story about the time the winter was so cold that words froze in the air and fell onto the ground, and you had to gather them up and you took them inside and you had to throw them on the fire to hear what was said. and 4 cooks would tie a side of hog to their snowshoes and skate around the griddle to keep it greased, while 7 others made his flapjacks, and his big blue ox, oh no, that wasn't Paul Montgomery, that was Paul Bunyan. Here's my Uncle Paul.
Who became famous for running 70 yards the wrong way at Muskingum College homecoming?
Fastest man in the field. 21 tried to catch me. Our team, their team, nobody. But the play was called back. The other team was offside, so we lost nothing except just some conversation.
By the way, as long as I'm resurrecting family images, extra credit if you can identify this stomach. You win if you said Dick, which reminds me that over the years, Dick and I have been somewhat fashion challenged. My side of the family has demonstrated a distinctive and unfortunate sense of fashion. We inherited this genetic trait through the paternal line. And over the years, this genetic defect has publicly manifested itself periodically, worsening over time. And I'm sad to report that the compulsion to costume ourselves in an unconventional way has infected Dick the worst. This may be hard to watch, but I thought the family should know, so perhaps we can organize an intervention. Tragic, really, don't you think? Anyway, after thinking on it, I concluded the very best way to produce a video as a birthday present to you would be to bring to this party some of those who can't be here because of having quite the valid excuse of not being currently alive, and others we just like to see again.
It's a pleasure to once again, and I mean that very sincerely. Remember 2 years ago when we gathered here for worship out in God's canopy of heaven to meditate upon the Lord our God and all his works of wonder. And so we are pleased to be here today, and it's an honor for each of us to be able to worship side by side and with all in spirit who have gone before, but are with us just as much in spirit now.
Moving here, John.
Angry look.
This is going very slow today. Gordon outdid me with the bluefish and the crabs, but come this evening when they're all sick of seafood, I'll probably be able to make a couple of shekels on the hot dogs and hamburgers.
One of the values of a family gathering is that the children of the second and third generation get to know one another and have a good time together so that they do know who the children of the different members of the family really are. Some families run out so soon, and the cousins and the second cousins and so forth never really get to know one another.
And he said, what does Mr. Atkinson charge? He lives across the street from me, and he's retired and he loves to clean cars. I said,
Just continue on.
I said, continuing. I said, well, he charges $3. He said, well, if I had $3, I'd pay him to clean it. I said, no, you wouldn't. You're going to clean it yourself. So he finally cleaned it. And he said, you know, that's the first time I ever cleaned a car. I said, you've got to be kidding.
I put up at the at a hotel. What is that hotel? It's a nice hotel. You may know it. It's an older one. And Raphael, you know that one? And so I just sit there because, you know, time is just something else to them than it is to us. So then finally...
When I find myself, I'm in trouble. Mother Mary speak words of wisdom.
You sing it, Jennifer.
Great golfers up at Chautauqua had a poem that he thought was apropos to the game. Stan, could you just tell us what that...
Well, yes, this is John Chardy, the great American poet and not-so-great golfer, who said, as he watched his putt go on past the hole, he said, and I quote, "The saddest words the tongue can say are, 'Putt again, you're still away.'"
Not length of days, nor span of years, not vain regrets, nor hopeless tears, not faint heart when a storm appears, these make not life. Not easy drifting with the tide, not halting when the visions ride, not mourning when the gifts denied, these make not life. To fill the time with thought and deed, to find in faith the joyous creed, to lose oneself in others' need. This makes life.
Joan and I met when I was 9 and she was 19 and about to become engaged to my Uncle Paul. We've been together for many Montgomery family reunions, weddings, and funerals. We've been together for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners, Pittsburgh, Youngstown, Canfield. We were together when you came to help after Annie's birth. We were together for a getaway weekend to New York City in the 50s. We were together on a cruise ship in the Caribbean in the 1980s. We were together and we traveled far and wide to visit Jack and Ann at all their various homes. We were together on the beach at Ocean City, our favorite vacation spot. We are now spending our final years together at Westminster Place. And we are together on the bus on Tuesdays to shop at the Jewel Grocery. We're together on the bus to go to Northwestern University to hear the North Shore Band play. We are together on Tuesdays and Thursdays at dinner in our dining room. We walk the lower level together as we go on Thursday night to our Thursday night programs and to Sunday Vespers at the chapel. And we will be together till one of us is called to move into our heavenly home, where we have the assurance that we will be together for eternity. Stephen Sondheim wrote a song for the stage show Gypsy, which we saw in New York City, and which pretty much sums up our relationship. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. We may not go far, but sure as a star. Wherever we are, we're together. Wherever I go, I know she goes. Wherever she goes, I know I go. No fits, no fights, no feuds, no egos. Amigos together, wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. If prices are steep, we'll always sleep cheaper together. Go through thick and through thin, all out and all in. And whether it's win, place, or show, with you for me and me for you, we'll muddle through whatever we do together, wherever we go.
And here are a few others checking in to sign the big family happy birthday card.
Rasmus Moore of Phoenix, Arizona.
Terrific day.
Melissa Michelson of Phoenix, Arizona.
Wynn Michelson, Phoenix, Arizona.
Kate Michelson, Phoenix, Arizona.
Peter James Montgomery Moore, New York City. Tim Moore, New York City.
Lonnie Moore, New York City.
Oh, I know. Thomas Elmore, New York City.
Ilona Moore Fox, Arlington, Virginia. Troy Fox, Arlington, Virginia.
Now we have the J. Knox Montgomery clan.
I beg your pardon. I'm Vicky Moore from Roswell, New Mexico. All right, Mother. Representing the J. Knox family, Maureen the Nuisance of Piscataway, New Jersey.
Tony Manousis, Piscataway, New Jersey.
Now the Don P. Montgomerys.
Don Montgomery, Youngstown, Ohio.
Gertrude Montgomery, Youngstown, Ohio. Marge Pollock from Canfield, Ohio.
Dave Pollock, Chicago, Illinois.
Francis Pollock, Chicago, Illinois. Kathy Pollock, Wellington, New Zealand.
Dick Pollock, Plattsburgh, New York.
M. Riley, Huntington, West Virginia. Louis M. Riley, Huntington, West Virginia.
Greg Riley, Huntington, West Virginia.
John Rowley, Almost Heaven, West Virginia.
Geneva McIlvaine Montgomery. Montgomery McIlvaine.
Jimmy McIlvaine, Atlanta, Georgia.
Betsy McIlvaine, Atlanta, Georgia.
Jim McIlvaine, Atlanta, Georgia.
Jean McIlvaine Kohler, Amherst, Massachusetts.
Stan Kohler, Amherst, Massachusetts.
You might have made it rhyme.
Maggie Kohler, Amherst, Massachusetts.
Jamie Kohler, Amherst, Massachusetts.
Jenny Kohler, Amherst, Mass. Mary Ann Kohler, Amherst, Massachusetts.
And now the Robert Montgomery clan.
Ruth Montgomery, New Concord, Ohio, the garden spot of the world. Molly Montgomery Bruner, Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Gordon Brunner, Gaithersburg, Maryland. Jeff Brunner, Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Susan Brunner, Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Julie Brunner, Gaithersburg, Maryland.
And now the illustrious Paul Montgomery family.
Paul Montgomery, Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
Joan Montgomery, Swarthmore,
Jack Montgomery, Radnor, Pennsylvania. Hi, Mom.
Ann Montgomery, Radnor, Pennsylvania.
Bill Montgomery, Radnor, Pennsylvania. Todd Montgomery, Radnor, Pennsylvania.
Barry Montgomery, Chicago, Illinois.
Jennifer Montgomery, Chicago, Illinois. Brooke Montgomery, Chicago, Illinois.
Marilyn Montgomery McGough, Winnetka, Illinois.
Jim McGough, Winnetka, Illinois.
Kelly McGrath, Winnetka, Illinois.
Yeah.
Kelly McGrath, Winnetka, Illinois.
You know, very many years ago, there was a wise old man who was asked a question. And the question was, how do you defeat age? As if age is something to be beaten in a game. And he thought for a moment, he cogitated on it, and he said, to keep the heart unwrinkled. Here is to the unwrinkled heart of our Aunt Joan. Happy birthday, Aunt Joan!
Oppan Gangnam Style.